YouTube, and welcome back into our How to Win a Science Victory on DEITY tutorial. This will be the last video in the series. Hopefully it's not too long and none of ours doesn't have too much of an edit to do, but today we're going to cover the end game of a science game. In the last two episodes, we covered the early game where we kind of set up our essential cities in our empire and got them rolling. We were scouting around for information, collecting goodie huts, really just seeing what was around the map and getting a real good base to work from. In the last episode, we expanded that base and got all of our essential infrastructure, the districts we need, the wonders we need, all of those types of things. And now we're heading into the late game where all we're trying to do is be as efficient as possible with getting the science victory. A lot of the game is we're gonna put blinders on and kind of tune out a lot of the game and just hyper focus on the science victory here going into the end game. We've left ourselves in a really good spot heading into a golden age with lots of really good cities, lots of really good infrastructure going down, lots of gold to be able to spend on buildings, builders, settlers, whatever we need, traders, all of it, which is awesome. So we're really excited about where we're at right now. So let's continue playing our main goal in a science victory here. There's two ways to do it with the third government. So let's talk about both ways. We're going to do the democracy way in this one because we're allies with everyone. But if we take a look at our third governments here, democracy gives us 4 food and 4 production with all of our allies, right? Or city-states we're suzerain with. And we're combining that with Whistlebank in one of the cards that gives us +2. So we got +6 food and +4 production for all of the trade routes going to allies, which is everybody, and Sioux city-states, which is also everyone. So there's not a single trade route that's not working at this +4, +2, or potentially +6 threshold here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to get those all going in the capital, which we've combined with the Ruhr Valley. So we already have 135 production. We're going to add more on top of that. And we're going to have one kind of mega center city with all the production. They're going to build this spaceport right here, and then we're just going to be able to launch all of the projects really quickly. And we're going to combine that with the great scientists and great engineers that help make those projects quicker as well, and just be able to really quickly move through the space race. In order to do that, we're going to need to get these great people here. We're also going to use the Royal Society. So the Royal Society is a government plaza building that we get at the third government here. It doesn't matter which one of these 3 you pick, you're going to get the Royal Society. And that's going to allow us to sacrifice builders into our spaceport to really help the very end project. So it'll all make sense when you see it. But basically, we're focusing one big city here on doing almost all of our space race stuff very, 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 very quickly. The other way you can approach this is the way you would approach it, I'd say, to about half of the science games. If you're not allied with everyone, or you wanted to do a little domination, or you needed to do a little domination, communism is really going to help with that production, and it'll give you 10% extra science, which is also a really good pick. The other thing democracy is going to do really well for us, though, is we don't need 3 red cards here. I'd rather have those spread out instead of having them kind of locked up here. So I think this is a really good route for us to go into democracy. I think campus district adjacency giving us production as well is very, very good right now. It's going to add production to a lot of cities. Reform the coinage is nice. I don't think we need the extra gold, though. I think the extra production in all of our cities will be the most helpful at the current moment. We're going to get stock exchanges in every city that we can. There's a few good districts we can still put down. I might want to get one encampment to maybe get some railroads going. We can still grab the Angkor Wat if we really want to. I mean, +1 population and +1 housing in all cities is actually pretty good. So that might not be terrible. Big Ben we're going to put in this city down here, which will be great for us. I actually rate the Angkor Wat pretty highly if we can grab that. I might actually do that, to be honest. Let's grab that builder, chop this out. +1 population in every city is going to be massive. The 10 food, 10 production, really, really important. We're not building wonders right now, and I think if we are going to grab the Angkor Wat, we can just do our best to grab it without skyscrapers. It's not a huge deal if we don't get it. So I think moving this up here and opening up 9 science, 9 culture, I think 8, 8, 8, and 8 is really good as well. We just want as much science as possible, and I think Raj is going to give us a little bit more science, which is great. So we'll throw Raj in to boost our yields up a little bit in all areas at the top here. All right, to make sure we're setting up our capital city, we want all of our trade routes. We'll get a few going from the Great Zimbabwe City just because we built it. We want most of these going from here anyway, just to make sure that once we get to democracy, they're already going and we don't have to build them after that. We're going to chop this tile out here to get the stock exchange, and then we're going to build the Big Ben right afterwards. So let's just put that down. I think if we're going to build the Big Ben, we might want to put the Wonder card back in just to make sure we get the Big Ben quicker. That's going to give us an extra economic policy slot, which would be massive for us. Absolutely massive. I don't think we need a lot of these districts. I think this is a good builder city, although getting some campus research grants isn't a terrible idea either. We do need to start moving through a lot of these great people. All right, now that we're here, we are going to build some of these Cocoa Corporation products so we can move them to other cities and get those cities growing quickly as well. Are we running out of food here? We could take it away from high YouTube. We also chop this out and put a farm down, which might be not a bad idea considering that we're building the Big Ben. Let's repair the walls, I guess, and then let's go for a industrial zone logistics. We want to move through these great people. We're never stopping doing that. All right, once the stock exchange is done, let's call it a day and grab this Angkor Wat. I do want to buy a shipyard. Mostly, though, I want to make sure we have all the research labs we need ready to go, and we have all these. Like when we get this campus here, I want to buy the library and the university right away, and I want to save my gold for research labs as much as I can. I'm actually going to chop out the Angkor Wat here. I think the Angkor Wat's very good for us. I didn't think I'd be saying that this game. I think the Angkor Wat is very good for us. +1, +1, +1. Yeah, we want a +2. +2 right here might be a little better. Any campus is a good campus right now. There's Nan Madal. Awesome. Hello, Nan Madal. How much production does this city have with vertical integration? 71.5 is a lot. That's great. 71.5 production is a lot. 153 in the cap. That's awesome. We really need to try and increase our amenities if it's possible. We're also completely polluting the earth, so we do need to get to flood barriers rather quickly. Do we need a builder around this area? I don't think we do, although there's probably some good stuff to chop around here. I think a builder over here would be helpful, so let's do that. Angkor Wat's going down. I think that's hilarious, by the way. Now that we have all of our cities, giving each of them +1 population is a massive boost. A governor title. We do want space initiative. We also really want indoctrination here. Getting that extra wildcard policy slot is massive for us. Your cities gain +4 loyalty and +1 amenity when your spy is in their territory. Very helpful for us to do some counter spying, which is great. So we're going to do that. I think 11 gold, 11 culture here feels pretty good. Or 11 science, 11 culture. That is another campus done for us and a product finished. So we're going to buy the library. Buy the university, get that done. 480 towards wonder construction with an additional charge is great. Let's build the Big Ben. Yeah, we'll finish that next turn. Let's not waste the production this turn. Let's just go for a sewer. I mean, 100% diplo favor per turn is actually crazy right now. We could sell that for a lot of money, and I love spamming wonders for no reason. Let's chop out, let's build the ores gas for no reason at all. Got a water mill real quick. This is the part where you just gotta hyper focus on what you're trying to do. What we are trying to do is get a science victory and get these great people. And I know building some of the wonders for no reason is a fun way to just kind of have some fun with this game. But in these cities here, like, we just need to get through these. We need to keep pumping out these great people, whether we get them or someone else gets them, so that we can get to the end game ones that we really, really want. I think at this point, same here. I know other districts would be fun and they'd be fine, but we're full focus on the science victory. We gotta get to the end of this tech tree. We gotta get those great scientists going. We don't have a choice. We don't need holy sites. We don't need more entertainment complexes. We don't need to faff about. No faffing about is the rule. So now what we want to do to maximize the efficiency here is put the Big Ben back in. We will use this great engineer. Now we have 2 turns left and we'll finish that up. Do I want to use this on the Angkor Wat? The Angkor Wat's pretty important at this point. Let's create another product. Now we want to move that first product we created out of the capital. It's going to give us plus 20% growth in any of these cities here. So I think let's pick, I think the next one, who's closest to 15? High YouTube is closest to 15. And that's where we want to get to, is 15 population for the rationalism boost. So let's move that there and see what that does next turn. 1032, we'll see what that does. And getting a sewer for some extra housing kind of synergizes well with that strategy. We do want to leave some room to get some power later in the game, so we're not using all of our, or getting all of our power from coal. And we're also going to start using all of our coal because we're going to get research labs, which are wildly inefficient to power with coal. Factory here makes a lot of sense. 2100, we're just saving it to buy a research lab right away. Yeah, let's chop out this cocoa product, and then we're going to suss out this ores gas here for fun. That's a fun thing to build. I should get rid of some of this diplo favor. The problem is when it's helpful, it's really helpful. I'm gonna trade the diplo favor after I see what the next, it's 4 turns till the next government. I'll trade that then. Big Ben's coming in next turn. That's gonna be a lot of gold, and that's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be an extra economic policy slot, which is massive for us. Big Ben is done, not specifically great for a science victory, but great in every game you can get it. It's going to give you that extra economic policy slot, some more gold and great merchant points and all that, but the economic policy slot is the real kind of winner here. 500 gold, 1 governor title. Yep, I would love that. Do that. Now we have 4,100 gold. That's going to be huge. Yeah, research lab's still next turn. We're going to be able to buy quite a few research labs, so let's move you up. What is the next best card we can put in? Public Works is wildly helpful just a little later on. 8 amenities is wildly helpful. I think 8 amenities for now is probably the best card we can put in. Just from the point of view of we don't want to get discontent and we can push ourselves towards getting amenity boosts. That'd be great. I don't think we're going to get there, but that would be ideal. We are getting bonuses actually from spies in our own territory. So let's fill our spy slots and have them be in our own cities at least. Let's just get space initiative now. I think that's fine. Just to make sure we have it. And that's going to go in our super high production city. It's all kind of there together. All right, now we have research labs unlocked. We have a lot of powered cities, and so we are going to get that +5 extra science. More great scientist points is very, very important. We are running through the great engineers at a pace that's all right. Poland's running projects, which is fine. Now we're at 28 per turn. We're 28.7 for Scythia. So we're kind of in the race here. We are running all of these projects, which is important. So when we buy our research labs, we don't want to buy them in the cities that can build them easily. So Achy Breaky Heart can build them easily. Bremen can build them easily. Vaccinated Van will have a bit of a harder time, so we'll buy that there. Mal will have a little bit of a harder time, so we'll buy that there. And then we'll just keep buying them elsewhere when we can. But now we're over 300 science and feeling pretty good at turn 177. Next up, we need to know if we have aluminum. Once we know if we have aluminum, we will head and build this spaceport as soon as we can get it. Yeah, 6 turns for a research lab. We're not going to buy one there. 1 action left, 480. I'm going to save that. I don't think we need it for Orsgaz or Anchor Watt. If we don't get either of those, it's really not the end of the universe, you know? All right, so we're up to 300 science now. It's starting to feel good. We're running all these projects. That's starting to feel pretty good. Spies are going to help us out a little bit. Getting toys here is going to help us out immeasurably. That might get enough in the capital to get us to content or whatever, ecstatic or whatever it is. I think we're still going to get this Ada Lovelace, though, which isn't the one we want, but it should be okay. You're going to sleep. I don't think there's another wonder we really need. Oxford University would have been the best. Oh, I don't care about either of these things. -5 loyalty for Eleanor would be nice. That would be nice, but I'm going to sell my Diplo favor now. Jadviga's going to grow faster. That's fine. Eleanor's going to culture bomb. Also totally fine. We don't really care. Now we have all this Diplo favor we can sell. Let's start with Jadviga, all these guys just spent their Diplo favor too, so they'll give a good deal for 100 Diplo favor. 34 gold is crazy. You won't be able to afford 100, but 50? Nah. What do you want for another 100 Diplo favor, my dude? Another 34. There we go. That's quite a bit of gold per turn. Feels great. So what is the exact bonus we get from the spies? Let's make sure we understand that bonus fully. 4 loyalty and 1 amenity. So it's just 1 extra amenity. But yeah, you just counter spy in high YouTube and protect the industrial zone. We'll get quite a bit of adjacent protection, which is great. Grab the sewer real fast. And then I think you just keep running with industrial zone logistics. Some more culture would be nice. I'm interested in Hunza though. 620 gold per turn is fantastic. And there it is, Anchor Watt. When was the last time we built this? I think it might be worth sending an offensive spy to Eleanor cities just to see if we can get some steel techs for the boost. But there's Anchor Watt. It's going to give a lot of population to our cities. Very, very helpful stuff there. Feels good. And now that that's done, we have a campus. I'm interested in another entertainment complex. I just don't know where you exactly put it. And we do need to start getting neighborhoods too. I mean, neighborhoods are going to be the much more useful thing. Any city that can get to 15 population is much more helpful. And we've got the Orsgaz. Cool. We're gonna get a lot of Diplo favor from this bad boy though, because we start every turn as the suzerain of city-states, so, and quite a few of them. I think that's enough wonders. I think we're done for wonders. We got Ada Lovelace. Let's recruit that. Cool. After says Jahan, I think we're gonna be a little more careful, just because we want to make sure we get the space ones. We're trying to run through them all so we can get close to the space ones, but then we actually have to get the space ones or else the whole thing was pointless. Let's the city build 1 more district than the population allows. It's probably good in Bremen. And we're getting the computers boost, which is nice. 200 culture's enough. A little bit higher would be nice, but 200's enough. 200 is enough, and making use of the gilded vaults for that is awesome. You know, when we started and we got Owls of Minerva, that wasn't my favorite. That wasn't my first pick. Ulm is another good city for the district extra, because there's just room to build districts, and in the capital, there's just not. Is there room for a Hansa here? I doubt there is. I think any campus is a good campus at this point, so let's just chuck this campus in. This campus just finished, so we'll buy the library. We will buy the university. You build a shipyard, and then we'll come in and buy all the research labs when we can. We got our campus in here. We don't need a holy site. We don't need an encampment. I think just campus research grants. You don't need anything else. Although the coal power plant is nice. I'm going to save the coal power plant for cities we really want to be fully powered. All right, so there goes some of our... Oh boy, We got neighborhoods, we got railroads, we got dams, we got all of it. Or we got Panama Canal coming in. We got lots of stuff coming in hot. Let's make sure we continue these alliances because they're what's giving our trade routes all that food and production we talked about, right? We want neighborhoods everywhere. Any city that can get a neighborhood needs a neighborhood. Oh, +6 right up here. Heck yeah. Do it, baby. We need that housing. We need that food. We need neighborhoods everywhere. Anywhere that can get a neighborhood needs one. We gotta get everything to 15 population. Yep, +6. Do it. All cities need to be at 15 population to maximize the rationalism boost. Did we get a spy? We killed a spy. Eleanor was spying on us.
Yo.
I didn't think that was actually gonna work, but Eleanor was actually spying on us. Wow. We can build an aerodrome and a spaceport. That's not a problem. I think we should get an aerodrome for defense. It's just about where to put it. How much extra food do we have? 23.5 surplus food. So this wheat tile won't be missed. I think we build this aerodrome. I think it's good to have planes for defense. And maybe nuking Eleanor at the very end of this game, you know? Neighborhoods everywhere we can get them. +6 here. Sounds good to me. Because the neighborhoods lead into food markets, and once we get a food market, every city's gonna have 15 population rather easily. How's toys coming along? It looks like we're gonna get toys. I'm actually gonna get them as soon as possible. Yeah, neighborhoods everywhere. Although you don't have a good space to build a neighborhood, and you don't really need a neighborhood. You're gonna run out of the tiles to work anyway, so you just don't need a neighborhood. A sewer is probably pretty useless at this point. Yeah, a new cocoa product is probably helpful. You know what? Not even. I think just campus research grants. Same everywhere. Like, it's the same strategy everywhere. We just need to get those great people. I would like this coffee, though. Cheers, dog. Appreciate you. Vaccinated van, getting that neighborhood down. It's feeling good. We can get that food market in, also feeling good. And we can continue buying research labs. Huzzah! 443 science. So you can see what the strategy was here. As you're watching these videos, like with a science victory, you don't really pop off until you pop off, right? It took us like 50 turns to get from 50 science to 120. Now in the last 36 turns, we got from 150 or whatever to 443. And so you just really, if you set up the strategies you're going for properly and you focus on them, right? Like we're focused on synergizing all of these campus research grants with the great people we're gonna want. And that's really bearing fruit in the results. Even with only 9 cities, we're getting enough science per turn and culture per turn to do the things we're trying to do, and that's perfect. All right, now the big news. Do we have aluminum? Having aluminum is very important. We are already collecting aluminum, so we do have it. That's great. That's awesome stuff. Can I buy this food market? I'm gonna buy this food market just to get it going right away. I mean, we can even keep building neighborhoods, which is hilarious, but let's go campus research grants. Singular focus. That's all we're focused on right now. We can get to the end game if we really push it and get there as quickly as possible. Food market everywhere that has a neighborhood, though. Broadcast center would also be helpful. Sucks up a little more power, but overall not terrible. Let's grab it. Are we still Sues of everyone? We're not Sues of Taruga anymore, and that's really annoying. So let's become the Sues of Taruga again. I mean, neighborhoods getting more food right now is massive, because then we'll get all that science. I think let's see what happens if we take out those 9 amenities. Good stuff. We've got rocketry. We got the great scientist points in. Spaceports, it's even in this, so even in this city, it's going to take 11 turns, and this city has 160 production. So even with all that production, it's still going to take that long. Wild. We're certainly going to be the first one into space, though. Now we're going to circle back for oil. Oil is critically important for us right now. I think I'm interested in a water park here. A water park also takes up a pretty useless tile, so let's just do that. Oil is going to allow us to convert to oil power plants, which will save the environment that we're currently just massively polluting. I mean, it's not terrible yet. It hasn't actually hit anything yet, but we're about to start massively polluting, and we don't have flood barriers yet. So until we get flood barriers, I don't want to have to deal with that. So once you get to your spaceports, you have a few choices to make. I choose to have one spaceport that's going to do 90% of our work. We're going to put the spaceport here. We're going to put a spy in the spaceport. We're going to keep that spaceport under wraps. Because we have so many other cities, at the very end of the space race, you probably want at least 2 or 3 spaceports so you can work multiple projects at one time. Up until the very end, you can only work the one project at a time, so you only need one spaceport. Having a second one is nice if you're worried about one getting spied on, but I'm not particularly worried about that since it looks like we're going to be allied with everyone. So I think just one in the highest production city is great. We will look to build a second one somewhere though, but it's just good to know you don't actually need to until the very end. It's just a good backup plan, but most of the space race that we're about to enter, you can only use one at a time anyway, and so I'm only going to build the one for now. What's our alliance level with Scythia? 2. We really need to get it to 3. Yeah, level 3 is the one. If you're researching tech that they've already boosted, you get a little bit of extra, which is what we really want here. Janakia Mall, 400 science for each rainforest tile. Now that's not particularly great, but I do want to start moving through, and I still think we have 1 or 2 more before the space race ones start to come up. And there are some good rainforests over here that we can grab, so I'm gonna grab him. It's not a lot of science, but it's not a lot of science either. Yeah, but now the next one's 1,000 science and culture, so we still gotta move through a few of them. Where's the most? This will be 3 right here. We'll just head right here then. Yeah, we're gonna have the Ferris wheel. 2 amenities will be good. I'm just gonna go into Daruga to make sure we keep it. That's a pretty big deal. Only science city state in the game. We want to make sure we're keeping that. Yeah, we still have a long way to go to 2,400 points. Holy smokes. Everyone else does as well. Hey, Zeus, man, it's gonna take a minute. You'll give me a great work for 20 aluminum and tobacco. That's a fair deal. I don't know what you need the aluminum for, but I don't need it till the end of the game. I think a neighborhood here is great. A neighborhood with a food market will be good. All right, now we can finally build this theater square that we've been looking for. Chuck that bad boy down. Awesome. She's still rejecting it. That's unfortunate. Let's make her a deal. Let's send her. She's got quite a bit of gold. Oh, you'll give me a great work. I don't know if that's worth it, but if it'll make you happy, I just want to be friends with you so we can get a cultural alliance. Might as well grab this aquarium. I'm trying to just get amenities where I can. Next up, we want Reina to get to Harbor Master. Absolutely. That's going to give us a little more gold. Not that we need it, but if we can use Reina to buy spaceports later in the game, that would be ideal, just in case. I'm just going to go around and see where I can buy buildings just because we have so much gold. Oh, yeah, a workshop here. Let's grab that. Factory there. Let's grab that. Power plant. Let's grab that. There we go. All right, this is 1, 2, 3 rainforests. That'll be 1,200 science. That's going to give us refining, which is great. We got refining, and we need to get 20 era score if we want to get into a golden age, which isn't going to happen. So, Eleanor, do you want to be friends? No. Cool. There's some things we can do, though. We're not out of the woods yet. We are going to be able to transfer to oil, which will give us. Building a spaceport will give us some. Steel is great. Electricity is great. Flood barriers are going to be important. So let's head up to flood barriers, and then we'll just finish up the space race. Is there any other districts I can build a good version of? Not really. Could grab the Hermitage. No, I think campus. We just need campus research grants. That's all it is. If we don't get Margaret Mead, that'd be great. If we can get the next one, whatever that is, as long as we position ourselves. I'm actually going to build this campus here, +3. We just need any campus we can get. I'm going to buy a few units to combine together, you know, get some boats together. That'll be some era score if we need it. Grab the university. We'll grab the research lab when we can. Build a shipyard, especially in this city. A shipyard would be great. There we go. So now we're getting oil. Yeah, let's combine you. That's 1 era score. Good stuff. All right, electricity's huge. Hydroelectric dams are sick. Seaports are sick. Converting to oil power is awesome. How much for the Earth satellite? 4 turns. Let's do both by the end of the era. Yep, 7 turns. That's 6. Grants production towards wonder construction. Yeah, we're just going to have to do that. It's capped at half the treasury, though, so we can just build any wonder we want for free because half of our treasury is almost nothing. I mean, we should probably get the Colossus in 6 turns anyway, right? I'm actually going to do a 6-turn Colossus regardless, just for the era score and the trade route. That trade route is so valuable. I'm going to do that without this, though. If we just need to get something for no reason, you just chuck an Eiffel Tower right here, call it a day. Or chuck it on this farm. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Gives you the era score. How many? We'll have 2 charges of that, so we can do it twice, right? Yeah. I think let's get a spy going. We should fill up our spy slots. Food market. How much food do you have? 4.9 surplus. Grab another food market. Gustav Eiffel also gives us wonder construction, hey? Funds got siphoned from Achy Breaky Heart. Oh, you're not counter spying the old commercial hub. We're gonna get another spy over there then. That really sucks. We're gonna get down to contractor here so we can buy a spaceport if we need to. 400 that. This great engineer is just gonna cover it. So you can probably also just build the great lighthouse. And it's a pretty good tile for us, but the era score is the era score, right? I'd rather have the era score than the tile. We have flood barriers now. Those are going to be huge. We'll build those the next time we get a chance everywhere that can. Next up, we just want to focus on the space race. So when you're going through the tech tree, like we don't need offshore oil. We don't need any of this stuff right now. What we need is the launch moon landing. So we're going to head straight there. Building 2 broadcast centers is the boost. It's a possibility. All right, I want to build the Colossus with a great engineer. Huzzah! Another trade route. Yo! Woo! That trade route's going to be super clutch from the capital to maximize the production coming out of there. After we do the Eiffel Tower, we will buy... Oh, Eleanor's going to come to war with us? Are you for real? Come on, lady. Eleanor's going to come to war, but now we're going to space. That's the first step of the space race is we are going to launch the Earth satellite. The Earth satellite allows us to see everything. It's going to give us 5 era score. It feels really good. We can now see the entire map, which is awesome for us. I might not build the Eiffel Tower then. Oh, I might though, because that might get us the Golden Age. I was gonna say I could buy a plane to defend from Eleanor. Eleanor's declared war on us for whatever reason. I'm not exactly sure what the reason is, but she has, so that's okay. When you guys are doing your science victory, you have to go through all the different steps. We gotta launch the moon landing, launch the Mars colony, launch the exoplanet expedition, and then once that's done, we'll talk about it there. But these are all things you unlock by going through the tree. That's why we're focusing on them here if you're really new to a science victory. Plus 25% tourism towards other civs. Not great, not terrible. I mean, the tourism's nice. It's gonna stop another culture victory from someone else, but that's not going very far for anyone. So what's the next one? 3 oil per turn. We're already fine. Here we go. 20% production towards space race projects. This is the one we're looking for. We're getting it a little late, but this was the plan to kind of just motor through things. So let's convert to oil power here for sure. We're going to convert to oil power in achy breaky. Once that's done, we can actually just use a hydroelectric dam. That's much more environmentally friendly. Like I mentioned, we just need all of these great people. That's all we need right now. We have enough yields to get us through. Eleanor declared war on us, but I don't think she's actually doing anything, so we are going to build the Eiffel Tower this turn. That's going to take 3,200 of our gold, but that's okay. And there it is. Huzzah! Or sorry, it's going to take 1,600 of our 3,200. That's what I meant to say. We needed 3,200 so it can take the 1,600. We can do that twice. The Eiffel Tower, not that important for the victory condition, just a free wonder, free era score. Gives us appeal for neighborhoods. Puts us 3 era score away from a golden age, which it looks like we are going to hit. Yeah, we'll hit it once the Great Lighthouse is done. So we are going to go from Dark Age to Golden Age, back-to-back eras now. We can do this wonder spam thing one more time. So let's just have you hide somewhere and then we'll figure that out. Next turn, the Great Lighthouse goes in. Great Lighthouse just getting it for the Golden Age, which is worth it. Yeah, we're starting to get some floods in here. So let's actually build that flood barrier right now instead of the research grants. We might even want to consider a single encampment, especially if we can buy it where Reina is, just to get a military engineer to help build those quicker. Woo! All right, back-to-back Golden Ages, ladies and gentlemen. Feeling good. There we go. Now we got advanced flight. That's going to give us access to bombers. I mean, we can bomb her cities if we want to. I don't want to be too aggressive, though. Yeah, flood barrier. Anywhere we can get a flood barrier. Let's get the flood barrier. You're going to counter spy the commercial hub, please, because we've been having a little bit of trouble over there. And do we still want a trade route from here? We do not. I'm actually going to get it from High I'm New here to build this flood barrier a little faster. The hydroelectric dam is going to take our reliance off coal just a little bit, which is nice. I mean, the rest of the empire is still working off coal. But the capital city being one that's not is actually quite helpful because it's using the most amount of power for sure. Everyone else in a standard or dark age feels great. Heartbeat of steam is still pretty helpful. Reforming the coinage also still pretty helpful. I think campus giving us production is the most helpful. We have double aluminum up here if we wanted to come and settle. I don't think we need to settle another city. We're already short on amenities in some cities. There's not a really good tile in the capital to be putting an encampment. I do want to consider an encampment though. A neighborhood's probably the most important thing though. Even with Eiffel Tower, there's not a lot of good spaces, but we'll chuck a neighborhood in. Art museum, archaeological museum. Build 2 broadcast centers is this boost here. I don't know how quickly we can build 2 broadcast centers. I'm gonna buy the university and then I'll buy the research labs when we can. Scythia is going to get there. We're going to get this one. It's no worries. I just want to get there before the moon landing, right? Which doesn't look like it's going to happen. How are we doing in Johannesburg? Still fine. Yeah, I would like to choose Valletta again. And I think in Hunza's probably okay. Oh, dude, sign me up. Democracy, baby. We're heading there. Oh, never mind. I don't even care about the wildcard slot. Great scientist points. We got to get through. The biggest inhibition right now is that we're not getting through all the great scientist points. No points for great artists. Simply not helpful. We're going to win the World Fair, no problem, though, so that's fine. All right, in terms of the science victory, the 5-year plan, giving us industrial and campus adjacency, pretty huge stuff. And that opens up a slot up here that we can then use for encampment districts buildings, harbor districts buildings. I think that's still worth having right now. Rationalism is getting up there. It's not doing a ton, though. Sweet, so we're good there. We just don't even have enough tiles to work with all of our population here, to be honest. 22 surplus food is a good amount of surplus food. Campus research grants, we gotta go, baby. Are we building this broadcast center? This great engineer is coming really quickly. So let's, I think we are gonna get this broadcast center. Let's head back and grab uranium just to see if we have it on the map. And where do we need a research lab? There's still a few right here. There's still a spot where we needed one. There it is. Cool, Bremen's is going in. Oh, we need another builder here. Oh, and stuff's on fire. Oh, this is a problem. All right. I'd rather just buy the broadcast center, though, for the boost. I don't think I want to buy the builder. I think this builder can just come across and grab another farm. And there we are. Democracy is going to be huge for us. It's going to give us a lot more food, a lot more production. It's going to give us access to the Royal Society, which will become very important for us. So we're going to head in there. Gold purchases being discounted, also fantastic. And more policy card slots, also fantastic. Let's grab 16 amenities and 32 housing. Obviously fantastic. I think public works will still be important, but not quite yet. 40 gold is pretty important. We are buying a lot at the end of the game here. 13 gold, 11 production. I think Machiavellianism, to be honest. I do want to get some more spies out when I can. And that, you can see how much of a difference that made with all the food, and especially in the capital where we have all those trade routes going out of. 3 envoys starts to feel really good. Democracy is really all we needed to get to, and we got there roughly on time, so that's fine. The rest of it's kind of whatever. I'm going to buy this broadcast center just so we can get the boost. Now we have the boost for the moon landing. So now as soon as we get this great engineer, which will be in just a couple of turns, we can make sure the moon landing goes off quickly. And do I want to convert to oil power real fast? I think I do. I think on the whole I do, even if it's just in some cities. This research lab's going in. I think it's our final research lab. Then we have built all of them. I'm close to the point where I can just buy this with faith, which I will do. It looks like City is going to get this great scientist, which is great because it means we might be able to sneak in the next one. We can also start getting some of our power from solar panels. I don't think we have too many tiles where that would work out. We have a couple though, so it might be worth thinking about doing. We have enough resources for now. It is a little more friendly on the old environment though. I like the idea of this harbor just for the trade route. 3 turns, a little extra gold. All right, so now uranium has been unlocked for us. All we need to know with uranium is whether we have it or we don't, just so we know if we're getting nukes or not. Not that we'll build nukes, but I just want to know what the options are. 1 in Ulm and 1 in Bremen. Awesome. So we do have some uranium. Specifically right here. So we'll collect that. I don't really need to collect both. Just enough for a GDR or a nuke or something if Ellie really gets on our nerves. Otherwise, we're just going to hit straight for the Mars colony. That's the next item on the list. It's going to take us through wind farms, which are great. The next thing we want is the Royal Society. The Royal Society here is going to allow us to use builders to help with city projects, namely the projects that we put in our spaceport, which is going to be helpful for us. So we will do that. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna get this bad boy, which is gonna give us... Actually, before we do the Royal Society, let's actually just do the moon landing real quick. And then that'll give us 20% production off next turn. Awesome. We're gonna Suze Hunza just for fun. Some of these are still tempting. I don't think we need them though. The water park is the most interesting of them all, I think. On the whole though, I think you just campus... like literally, I think it's just that. There it is! Yo! Plus 100% production towards space race projects. This is what we want to see, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get there as fast as possible. I will buy it the second I can. Let's actually be efficient then. We don't actually need to launch the moon landing right now. Let's be more efficient and just do the other things until we get the great scientist. 20% production towards space race projects. Sure. And things are going well. It looks like flood barriers are going to be done shortly. That'll be great for this area of the map that is currently under siege by the floods. How's climate change going? Oh, yeah, it's speeding up really fast. It's speeding up not great. Yeah, it's not great. I think we should start converting away from coal power. That'll kind of happen naturally, though. 17 gold, 24 science, 24 culture. Up to 600 science. We've done it. Genghis Khan has also done it. What a lad. Oh, we actually lost these 2 tiles before the flood barrier was done. That's upsetting. That is very upsetting. Did we lose tiles anywhere else? I think there are other flood barriers got done in time. Yeah. We didn't even make it. I thought we would. We're going to wait on the moon landing. So campus research grants. We just want this dude right away. I definitely want contractor. Then we don't have to build another spaceport. We can just hopefully buy it. Absorbs this city-state into your empire. Grants you plus 10 loyalty per turn in the city. That's hilarious. There's just not a city-state I want to absorb. Maybe Hunza, because it's right on the border with Eleanor. I think she'd flip it, but maybe not. Let's go absorb Hunza. Now that we're approaching wind farms, I think actually having a couple of builders to go around to build some wind farms might not be the worst. And nothing else goes into Hunza because we're taking it. I do want Valletta back, though. Thank you. We shall be taking our Stephanie Kwolek. We shall be using you in the spaceport. Plus 100% production towards space race projects. Now the moon landing goes awful quick. 3,000 production towards space race projects is next. We are heading straight there. This was exactly the reason we wanted to do this. We wanted by the end of the game to make sure we had these great scientists, and we got there. We got the one great engineer we were hoping for as well, so that's awesome. That part of the strategy working out completely great. Wind farms down, getting some builders to help with those will be nice. It's not a lot of tiles for them because of all the mines. There's a few like right out here. Research, I just really think we don't need anything but research grants in almost all our cities here. Oh, flood barrier though. Our theater square has been taken out. I mean, what I could do is put down a 1-turn encampment and get a military engineer really quick. instead of the flood barrier, or 3-turn encampment. Oh, I can buy it because of Reyna. There we go. Look at that. Buy the encampment, buy the barracks, buy the armory, buy the military engineer, profit, go for the flood barrier. Wow, look at that. That was lucky. Now the military engineer can help with the flood barrier. We are going to absorb Hunza. Oh, it's still not enough. The extra 10 loyalty is still not enough. Oh, man. Oh, God, what have we done? All right, Liang, you're moving. Oh, it's plus 11. It's fine. It just hasn't caught over yet. It is plus 11. I will be buying the Gilded Vault here. I will be buying a stock exchange here. I will be buying a sewer here. And we will be living our best lives in peace and harmony. And we will be getting a campus. And we're going to get Preston. Look at that. So Preston is flipping in 2 turns. We should get something to defend this with. All right, we will be using our military engineer here to help with this flood barrier as much as possible. Genghis Khan's up to 700 science. What a lad. Tamaris is starting the space race. We got the moon landing, though. Grants a 1-time culture bonus equal to 10 times your science per turn and marks the 2nd step. So we're getting the big culture bonus, which is nice. Pushes us right towards the Mars colony and gets us over to Cold War. So now in the capital, we can just run the Mars colony right away, which is the next step in the space race project. Can we make peace? Oh, we can. Do you want to pay for it? No, we'll just make peace. Cool stuff. Good work. I mean, we're still taking Preston, but good stuff. Now we have to find... Offshore wind farms are great. Now we have to find the exoplanet expedition. We'll start with offshore wind farms here because they're going to be fantastic in some of our cities around. Great scientist points per turn is an interesting pick. Space race. No, I think we don't need this. We want to stay in democracy, but I think the plus 5% science will be helpful. There we go. Let's get a little bit of power. It's going to take off the coal load a little bit. It's not going to fully... We're using 17 coal per turn, though, and each one of these should take a little bit off of that, just slightly. Yeah, we can get a few here as well. Anything we can do to ease off coal for now so the world doesn't keep flooding, we should do. Oh, we got geothermal fissures, too. Heck yeah. And another military engineer to help with the flood barrier. I don't want to lose that theater square. I think mostly we're good to go, even if we don't get the... Like, we only need this one by the time we get the exoplanet expedition. This one is a 1-time boost, and we'll just use it right at the exoplanet expedition, so we don't need to use our turns at all. I think we have enough production here, especially because we're going to get the exoplanet expedition for free. So now that we can move some of our trade routes to other kind of high priority cities, I think Ma should get one. I think that's fine. I'm interested in an entertainment complex kind of in the middle here. I'm not sure what it would accomplish, but I think if we just build it, we can buy all the buildings in it and at least get some more amenities. All right, 1 turn for the flood barrier, so that's going to come in. At the very least, if we can get all the amenities just anywhere we can, that'll be a victory, I think. He's up to 700 science. What a G. He's not going for the science victory, though. Strange. There we are. The Mars colony's gone, baby. Yo. There it is. We're on Mars. The last thing is the exoplanet expedition and then a little county down clock. We haven't found that yet. It's going to be here somewhere. Well, if it's not here, it's going to be up here. So hopefully. Rationalism really just doesn't pop off like it used to. Post-nerf rationalism is much harder to get going, eh? Which is the point, but still, it kind of feels bad. All right, we have another spy finished. We also have offshore wind farms now. I'm going to send you to Eleanor cities just to see what we can accomplish. Let's see what we can accomplish up there. Getting some boosts might be nice, but we're just going to go to London and hang out. Offshore wind farms are going to be great, though. Love an offshore wind farm, though. Slowly weaning off coal. We were at minus 17. Now we're at minus 14. It's a slow wean. Let's get some bombers. Just for defensive purposes. You never know what's going to happen. We have campus research grants literally everywhere else on the map as well. So now we're getting the offshore wind farms in. These tiles are going to get unreal. Oh, we captured a spy. Eleanor, get your filth out of our cities. Oh, it took out Pingala! I got neutralized a while ago, actually. I didn't even notice. That was our huge dip in science, was Pingala getting neutralized. I didn't even notice. Oh, here we go. So now we're going to get an extra 90 science, though. So once you get to this plus 5% science, you're going to start really feeling good. So we can just put that in for Raj. Boom, 685, and that's without Pingala. We're still doing good on the science victory. Genghis Khan's science is a little concerning, but he's not doing the science victory, so that's fine. So have we haven't even got the exoplanet yet. That feels so bad. All right, let's go through here. And I guess we'll go through robotics. Yeah, I guess we go through robotics to see what's up here. There we go. Now we're up to 700 again. We can put Pingala back in. We're cruising now. And that takes 5. Like, that is actually ridiculous. Like, taking out a governor is actually unreal. It's like 13 turns without the governor. We have taken Preston. We will be keeping it. What districts do we want? The campus. Done. Yeah, gain sources. Machiavellianism is in. We're stealing some stuff from Eleanor. Biosphere is a great use. Plus 200% power from all offshore wind farms, solar farms, geothermal plants, dams, all of that. But also we have that great engineer that we're just sitting on, right? Oh, there he is. 1700, so we need 3,400 gold. We'll wait a couple turns then. Go into Valletta and then the rest into Antananarivo, because that culture will start adding up, especially over time with all the great people we've got. I mean, the end game of a science game is actually quite simple. Like, if you set everything up properly, you should just be able to spam great work projects everywhere. Don't really care for this. Don't really care for this. Don't really care for that. I guess I should care. I don't. Ambiorix gets the victory points. Coffee gets no amenities. That's fine. You need housing. What for? People to live? Do we need people to live in our empire? I love the idea of just sending 150 spies into Eleanor's empire. Until we get Carl Sagan, though. Until we get Carl Sagan, we cannot rest. Let's get a water park. I am a fan of water parky type things. Also, we have the biosphere. Not necessary for the victory at all, but definitely nice to have. There we go. Biosphere gonna really tackle our coal. Yeah, we're down to -10. We'll see what it is next turn. I think we're gonna be less than that. 846 science, finally enough for most in the game. There it is. We got Carl Sagan. 3,000 production award space race projects. We just gotta wait for the exoplanet expedition now. Let's steal a tech boost. Absolutely, we're gonna try and steal a tech boost. So with the end of the tech tree here, for those of you kind of newer to a science victory, the exoplanet expedition and the little projects sometimes change around where they are in the tree, so it's not exactly the same each time. They're always in the same general area, but it's good to know that it changes a little bit every time, just in case you're confused by that. So we're still kind of hunting in the tech tree for what we're looking for. What's the next great scientist? All the Eurekas, that's pretty huge. In the information, from the information area, yeah, that's huge, that's awesome. I don't think we're gonna get there, but Tamaris now doing the moon landing. Other people are getting in the space race, not a huge deal though. I'm not worried about that. Are we heading to another golden age? We are indeed. 4 turns, 1 era score, I feel confident. +1 amenity for this city, +2 housing. How many charges do we have? 3. Done. All right, let's go blitz Eleanor, ladies and gentlemen. We're making this game last a little bit longer just because Eleanor made us mad. No, I don't want the research alliance with you. I do want the research alliance with you. I'd rather have it with Genghis, but Genghis isn't coming up for a few turns yet. All right, we're going to kill you now. Bye, Eleanor. I'm honestly just in this for the amenities. Just because war weariness is going to be a thing, so we'll just... Whoa. Okay, wait. This seems excessive over in Hunza here. All right, there we go. We are in a golden age again. Bodyguard of Lies is fun right now. Let's just go Heartbeat of Steam again. We've been feeling pretty good about Heartbeat of Steam. Let's just go Heartbeat of Steam again. Oh, all of our spies are getting hit, man. Our spies are not doing well. Man, we still haven't found the exoplanet expedition. All right. I don't want to keep any of these cities. No. I don't want to keep any of the cities. That's too lame. I simply wish to attack them. Increase trade route capacity by 1. Probably still helpful. See, now these alliances have expired, and I wonder if they'll up them again. Oh, yeah, we're good. Cool. Still good. Oh, yeah, we're still good here. Good. We got to save up for a spaceport, actually. All right, let's move Reyna over. I know she's giving us a lot of gold. We do need to move her over to where Liang is so we can buy the spaceport. The plan is pretty clearly run research projects until we have all the great scientists and have found the exoplanet expedition. At least we know it's not here. God, we still haven't found it yet. This is frustrating. 9 turns? He's neutralized for 15 turns. Even with the counter spy? So none of the other victories are going against us. That's good. We have all our cities. They all got their campuses and research labs. There's not much more we can do really other than spam projects everywhere, get all the great scientists, increase our science a little bit until we find the exoplanet expedition. The exoplanet expedition is the last race project here. And once you complete that, it starts a countdown timer of 1 per turn. So 1 light year per turn, and you need to get to 50 light years per turn to win the game from there. And so you have to get to 50 before anyone else wins another victory condition or a science one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this off and start that 50 turn countdown timer. Then at the end of the tech tree, there are some projects you can run to add more to that timer. So we start at 1 light year, you can add 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can run multiple of those projects at the same time. That's the reason why all this aluminum was important. We need a lot of aluminum to run those projects. That's also the reason that having 2 spaceports at the very least is important, because you can run multiple of those projects at the same time, but you need spaceports to do it. yet. So up until this point, we've only needed and only been able to use one spaceport. After this, though, we can use multiple for those end game projects, which we will definitely be doing. All right, at this point, can we buy that spaceport? I think a spaceport's like 6,000. Yeah, 6,120, so we can buy that spaceport. There she is. She's ready to go. Now we'll have at least 2 spaceports. We could buy a third, which might be handy for us. We'll be able to run 3 of those projects at the same time right away, because we still have to collect the aluminum. I think what we're going to do right now, actually, is building cannons really, really quickly, anywhere we can, just to increase capacity for our aluminum, to make sure we can hold as much aluminum as possible. I have 237 production. I'm not too worried about that. Let's go here and take out food instead. And let's just increase our capacity limit so we can hold, ideally 120 is divided by 4. 4 projects right away would be nice. Yeah, that's plus, that'll be a plus 10 increase for the barracks. And another plus 10 for the armory. Now we're at 120. That's kind of where I want to get to. I think that's fine. I think here too, like a 3-turn encampment. 1 turn until we can actually launch it. And we're going to launch it with our BFFL. Yeah, that's another plus 10, so we'll build that. We're going to launch it with our BFFL, the great scientist here. Carl Sagan is going to give us 3,000, and that's enough to do the whole project. The exoplanet expedition. So that's going to take 4 turns or 2,100 production. But since we have 3,000 production, boom! Exoplanet expedition done, baby. Yo! Now we are on a 50-turn timer. We're now on a 50-turn timer. As long as no one else wins in the next 50 turns, we will win. Now, we want to increase that timer as much as possible. To do that, we have to discover off-world mission in 4 turns. So in 4 turns, we are going to be able to start running all of these projects in these spaceports, which is really, really awesome for us. We are also able to sacrifice builders for this. So what we are going to do is we're going to go in here, and this is where the building sacrifice is really helpful. Remember earlier when we talked about the Royal Society? This is where that comes into play. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to find a way for 185 gold to put in public works. The amount of production your builders give to their kind of sacrifice is based on the amount of charges they have left, and so giving them 2 extra charges is very helpful. At this point in the game, Machiavellianism is pretty useless. We don't actually need spies. It's just kind of fun to poke fun at Eleanor. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to buy a bunch of builders in this area so that they are ready to go and just kind of sitting on these spaceports ready to help out. It doesn't matter if the spaceport is in the same spot as the Royal Society. It only matters that you have the Royal Society in your government plaza. It is important to keep tabs on the other victories, though. We're somehow winning a culture victory, because if someone else wins while your exoplanet's going off, you still lose. You don't get any points for almost winning. Now she wants to make peace and give us our spy back. I'll take the deal. Look, I think we've done enough. There's been enough death and destruction. I don't want to get any more war weariness, and I don't want to get any more grievances, so we'll do that. I guess we don't even need to really do the campus grant. We can just have some builders here. Let's move from campus research grants to builders. You can only do it 1 per turn per spaceport, but it's a fun little trick. So the way you're going to see your countdown is you go to the science victory and hover over here. It's traveling at 1 per turn, and we've hit 2 out of 50. So that's where your countdown is for those of you who've never seen that screen before. Is there any way we could acquire more aluminum? Does anyone have any? I just want the aluminum. I don't care about anything else right now. I know that was a terrible deal. I just need as much aluminum in the stockpile as I can possibly have for this. Buy the barracks, buy the armory, buy the military. Now we can hold it to 170. That's a good amount. 120 will get us 4. And while those 4 are building, I'll keep refilling with aluminum. All right, so now that we've unlocked the Lagrange laser station and the terrestrial laser station, we have 2 options. We can either build the terrestrial one, which uses power all the time. So the more you build it, the less power you have, which makes all of your yields go down and all of that. So it's a little bit less nice. I don't like it as much, although we have lots of power in this game with the biosphere and all that. So maybe it's not the worst. The one I like more is the Lagrange, which just requires 30 aluminum. You just have it. It doesn't negatively impact anything else. In most games, you're not using aluminum for anything else, and so you can just pop in. I'm gonna pick the Lagrange one here. That's gonna take 1 turn to launch, which is awesome because we have like 200 production. In this city, it's gonna take 3 turns to launch. Not so terrible. But as we come in here, we can now sacrifice our builders, add production to a project only once per turn. If the production you add is not enough, or even close to enough to finish the project, it'll roll over into your next thing. So the production always rolls over, so all you're doing is adding production. So this will keep rolling over to the next one. And so we'll do that for both of these. and then we will come in hot here. We want builders lined up every turn. You can do it once per turn per spaceport, so you want builders lined up every turn to do this. But that's it. That's all we're gonna do till the end of this game now, is we're just gonna increase our light years per turn, and so we're getting multiple per turn instead of just one, and then we'll get to 50 quicker, and then we'll win the game quicker. We do have a counter spy here, which should counter spy both of these, so we should be good. Although Eleanor's spies are elite. And this is what it looks like when you launch the Lagrange laser station. We are launching our first project. It's the same animation every time. And what that means for us is now we're launching 2 light years per turn. So it'll go from 5 to 7 to 9 to 11 instead of 5 to 6 to 7 to 8. You can see how quickly this gets out of hand. Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be 1 turn every time. You can see that time it almost did the whole thing. It's a little bit more than last time because it rolls over, right? Triggers the Eureka moment for all techs. Yep, in the information era, please. It's a little bit late. Wish we had gotten there sooner, but it is what it is. And now we should be going 4 light years per turn because this is going to launch twice. Right? So it just keeps adding up. But it's easier to use aluminum every time instead of power every time. And even if we can just get 6 light years per turn using aluminum and then the rest using power, that's not too bad, isn't it? And there we go. See, since the production rolls over, the last 2 didn't get the full project, but this one did. And there we are. Now we're at 5 light years per turn. I will give you anything for 91 aluminum. There we go. Got that 91 aluminum. It's fantastic. We overpaid just slightly for it, but you know what? It's going to be great for us. One of the biggest things that can trip you up is if your spaceports get pillaged while this is all happening. There it is. 6 light years per turn. Starts to feel pretty good. Doesn't really matter where we go in the culture tree because we already hit where we need to be. Honestly, we just need builders, right? Just need builders to sacrifice. We need more aluminum. If anyone else has any to sell, that'd be ideal. Cool. People are generally pretty protective, but if we can just... Another good reason to be allies with people, I guess. I hadn't thought about it that way. 8 light years per turn. Now we're at 18 out of 50. I'm running out of builders to sacrifice, but we can buy them now, right? Yeah. Keep me locked and loaded, baby. Yeah, whatever. There's 9. That's 10 and 11. It's 2 more turns to the victory. Can we launch one more just for fun? No. All right. Well, that's okay. We can just shift enter through this turn using our democracy for production with Rurat Valley for production with Royal Society for the builder spam and with the great scientists and great engineers we wanted. 5 kind of pillars to that strategy. They all lined up and we hit the victory. We kind of detoured a little bit, but in your games doing a science victory, you will detour as well. I think what's really important for you guys on YouTube who are watching this as a tutorial is there's more than one way to win a science game, right? There are loads of science games where you don't use the Royal Society, where you go communism instead of democracy, where you're not playing Germany and you don't have a lot of industrial zones. And so you're going to be using Korea where you have better campuses, for instance. So there's a lot of ways to win a science game, but the main pillars of it don't really change. First 100 turns, you're getting a good base to work from. In the mid game, you are economizing that base so that core kind of pillar of cities is now fully functional, up and running and optimized. And then in the late game, you're kind of just spamming for great people. You're trying to increase your science as much as possible. You're trying to get to that third government, whether you pick communism or democracy, and you're trying to get through as many projects as you can and find the space race stuff as quickly as possible. So this victory is one of the easier ones just because you can do it completely insularly. You can just do it on your own. You don't need any interaction with the AI. But I hope this served as a relatively decent tutorial for you guys. If you did enjoy it, the like button, the subscribe button are both there. All the links are in the description below. Massive thank you to Onvars for editing this all. Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoy your science victories in your Civ games, and we will see you in the next one.